All right, and we are now live. We should be anyway. Double checking.
Fantastic.
And there it goes. Hangouts on air. We are indeed live.
Sweet. Here we are. Another week.
Another week. More time to talk about Shroud of the Avatar. How you been this week?
Oh, I've been really good this week. Yep. Had a good amount of time in game. I hardly did any work this week.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So, hey, if I was relying on that for a living and to pay all the mortgage these days, I'd be worrying, but I'm not. So that's good. So, yeah, had a good bit of time in game. I actually managed to GM intelligence.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
And let me tell you, that is brutal. That's one of the big three.
I started working on strength with Odd Job recently, and I noticed it's pretty slow.
Oh, it is. Yes.
I mean, he had it up there quite a bit, but I recently said, let's go ahead and let it go, and I marked it up, marked some other things down, and I'm letting that kind of climb. And I noticed it's slow going.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I saw a spreadsheet that somebody did a while back, telling you how many XP it takes to get each one up. A lot of the low-level ones, you're looking at about 1 million.
Right.
And strength, dexterity, and intelligence, you're looking at 12 million.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Yes, so they are brutal.
Yes.
But, I may not look at, but I'm smarter than I was.
That's good.
So there we are. Yeah, so that's that. And yeah, a bit of a big push on enchantment this weekend with the double XP happening. So let's see how we go on that.
I'm not going to be able to get to do much this weekend. I'm vending a local Renaissance festival. I actually just from setting up. Partly. Didn't get completely set up. Got to get up early in the morning and go back out, finish setting up, and then run that for the day.
Yes.
Probably won't get home till tomorrow evening. Of course, I'll have to get on for a little bit, take care of customers, but then Sunday morning, it's back to the Renaissance Festival for the day, afternoon into early evening, then 3-4 hours of tearing that down before I get to come home.
Wow. Okay. That sounds like a busy weekend.
Yeah, it's a busy weekend. Look, I only do this year. I've only had, I want to say 6 conventions scheduled, and I only have 2 more left after this one for the rest of the year. I believe next year I'm only going to be doing 3 a year. So didn't do many this year, but I'm doing even less next year. So
not too bad. Not too bad. Is it reasonably local?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm doing so many less this year than I did last year. Is I stopped doing anything that's not within a half hour.
Oh yeah, and, that's fair.
Last year I traveled quite a bit. This year I just did local. I scheduled, like I said, about a half dozen of them. A couple of them I'm not doing again. Didn't like them, weren't profitable, wasn't the right market, which I had to explore a little bit. At this point, I got 3 I know that are very solid every year that are in my area. So I know at the minimum every year I'm probably going to be doing 3 unless I decide to give up the vending this at some point. Otherwise, that's unless I want to travel, that's pretty much what I'm down to.
Okay, fair enough. And how do you find the festivals, the Ren festivals and stuff? They're pretty good busince? A lot of people?
They can be, and they not necessarily, though. I found, last year I did quite a bit of traveling, and I found I actually, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to drop the local financially when you talk about disposable income, from city to city to city and that sort of thing. I mean, people around here, I don't know why I'm so poor, because everyone that lives in my backyard has tons of money to throw away.
Really?
When I was going to a lot of other states last year, and I vended in 5 different states, I was on the road about 60% of the first 7 months of the year. And I mean, you can tell the difference from state to state, city to city sort of thing. Some of them I would go to, people weren't likely to make a purchase over $5 or $10, and that was a major deal. And everyone would ask you if you could come down on things. And, but then in another city, it's like, you could see where that purchase price becomes a different level for different people in different places. And, and then at the end of the weekends, you get home and you're tallying it up. If you're comparing apples to apples, this sort of convention to this sort of convention, you can see just a big difference between cities and states and that sort of thing. I found that my own backyard, I do 4 to 5 times better financially vending than I did in any other city.
Wow.
So I said, why am I traveling?
That's a win-win situation, isn't it?
Unless I'm doing that as a sole income, which I'm not. It's actually I think it's typically costing me more to do it than I'm making. Just lost time, not being home to work on my online businesses. It's like tonight when we were setting up. It's a Friday night. It's a Friday night with a telethon. We're getting close to a release. New things are coming out. They're showcasing the dungeon. Well, of course, one of my businesses is Shroud of the Avatar. Well, what's happening on a Friday night when I'm off setting up for a convention? I got orders coming in. I still have people at this point in time waiting on me to log in game and deliver goods they paid for. And I don't like people waiting for one thing. But
you're a good man.
So, when it's a vending weekend, that's also a lot of the times, whatever the online business is, that's a lot of the times when I need to be at home engaged in those businesses also. So it's almost a conflict of interest sometimes. Am I making more money vending? Yeah, it's only a couple of days. I can make people wait. I don't like to do that, and it's a tough balancing act. It really is. I like the vending. I think it's good. It gets my name out there. It gets me out of the house once in a while. So it has some good aspects to it. But financially, I'm not sure anymore if it's always the best thing to be doing. I'm like, man, I might have made more money staying home this weekend. So. On the other hand, it is a Renaissance festival, and I do really, really well at Renaissance festivals typically. So I'm hoping at the end of this weekend, I go, okay, I'm glad I did that. If I come home without a big bank box, I'm seriously going to be looking at whether I continue vending next year.
Okay. As long as you're enjoying it, I guess you just keep doing it. I
tell you what, it's amazing how much more you enjoy it. When you can say at the end of the weekend I made $500,000 or whatever, versus man, I didn't even pay for my gas. it really changes your outlook quick, only because of the amount of I mean, it is I tell people, man, vending a convention for a weekend is a week's worth of work. Working a 9-to-5 job or whatever, going in, getting up every day, doing that for 5 days in a week is about the equivalent of vending one weekend. Because I mean, you don't get to sleep for 2-3 days hardly, and your days are 12 plus hours long. So you're doing a whole week in those 2 or 3 days. And a lot of the time, the weekdays preparing up to that, you're working on things and so forth. So you really theoretically you need to make a week's pay over that weekend to really for the vending to be paying for itself.
That's right. Yes.
And all too often that's rare.
That's a pretty uncertain life, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm for me, I have a lot of other businesses, and I'm glad I'm not depending on that for a living. It would be rough. I mean, I know people. I've talked, vending. I've talked to a lot of people that's what they do for a living, and you pretty much have to spend all your time on the road. You have to go from convention to convention every weekend. You're going to have those weekends that are good. You're going to have those bad ones that, over time, the theory is that will even out if you're doing it every weekend, but then you become a gypsy.
You would. Yes.
And I got a taste of that last year, and there's definitely fun aspects to that. I mean, it's cool, you get to travel around and eat at different places. That's the other thing, your meals are tax deductible, so you're eating out at restaurants and you're getting good. And that's the thing, you want to eat good. I mean, you're doing a lot of physical exercise, so at the end of the day, you're like, man, a sandwich isn't going to cut it from that I packed myself or whatever. You want to go out,
right?
You find a cafe and you want to, you want something of substance and hot. And so you eat really well, and that's a nice perk, and you get to travel and you get to meet a lot of people. But then on the other hand, you're home for 2 days at a time, and you're trying to roll back out the door. And for me, I was sleeping in the back of my van in Walmart's. So I'm living in a van in Walmart parking lots for half of the year. So there's perks and there's downsides to it. It's for some people, it's not for everyone. I definitely enjoy doing it a little bit. I wouldn't want to do it as a primary living.
No, absolutely. Well, there you go. Oh, hey, thanks for that insight. That's fascinating.
Yeah, it's an interesting it's an interesting life. I know people that do it as a life. I'm glad to get my tastes of it, and I got enough of a taste of it. I know what it's like to do it full time for living, and I'm like, man, I hope I don't have to resort to just that.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think I'd do a little bit of Ubering on the side or something before I would depend solely on vending for an income.
Okay, fair enough. Alrighty. Well, moving along. Remember, I had this crazy idea about a competition last week, and I was wearing this T-shirt, and would you believe nobody won?
Surprises me. I got I got the first one. I still don't have the second one, but I'm not real knowledgeable on the topic.
Okay, fair enough. All righty.
I'm not the fan that Samar. I enjoy it, but not the huge fan. More of the books than I ever was the TV show. Yes. Of course, when you get into the books, you don't really go past the books, into the world. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Like the show does. So.
Yeah. But anyway, I had this silly idea. I was wearing this T-shirt, and I thought, look, if anybody can tell me what it is, I'll give them 10 kotos. And a couple of people did actually guess. Well, they had a try. That was good, but I really wasn't showing enough. So it's like some of these gorgeous, sexy models. They just show you a little bit, just enough to get you interested, but nothing worthwhile.
You got to wiggle it. You got to show it.
Yeah. Okay. So I did let out that it was nothing to do with Shroud at all. But
yeah, that might have been a good disclaimer. I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
people might kind of be locked into that Shroud mindset, and then not branching out of that in their heads. Yeah.
That's right. But it was a different variety of a species that can be found in Shroud. Mm-hmm. And I thought, okay, well, what have we got in Shroud? We got rabbits. I mean, it could be the death bunny. We got bears. It doesn't quite look like a koala bear, really, I don't think. In fact, the teeth are a bit evil.
There you go.
There you go. So it could be a bear, but not really. Or it could be a wolf. And in fact, it is. And it isn't a grey wolf. It's not a timber wolf. It's not a obsidian wolf, but it is actually a dire wolf. And any fan of Game of Thrones will realize that is the sigil that flies on the battle banners of the Stark family.
I was just looking for it. I got a coaster or something around here too with it on it, but I got so much stuff I don't know where it's at.
There you go. And I hope you can see that. I hope that's coming up.
Coming out real good.
Yeah, good. We got Game of Thrones, and each family in Game of Thrones has words that they live by. And this is their family motto or whatever. And the words of the Stark family are winter is coming, which of course it is. So there you go. Mystery solved. Okay. And now, of course, I'd still like to give away some kotos if I can. So the second part of the competition is still running. The question is, where did I get it from? You've got the whole world to pick from. So could be anywhere. Now, there are a few clues. One, it is a genuine souvenir. I did not get this out of the local bargain basement store. Not from Target. It's not a rip-off. This is a genuine HBO souvenir. Absolutely not local. Don't even think down the street. Travel was seriously involved.
I got a guess or two, but obviously I'm gonna keep them to myself.
Fair enough. Okay. So yeah, travel was involved. Now it might help if I tell you why I purchased this particular one. This shop that I went to, it had pretty much every bit of Game of Thrones memorabilia on display. You could get almost anything. I've had a particular affection for the Stark household. I think they were the more honourable, if you like, lot in Westeros, especially old Ned Stark. I really developed an attraction to him in season 1, played by Sean Bean, did a brilliant job. Looked like an upright, honourable family man, trying to do the right thing, trying to avenge the death of his brother-in-law and, of course, his sister, trying to root out and see justice done. Well, unfortunately, as you know, towards the end of season 1, he lost his head in King's Landing. Now, that was a bit of a shock, you know. Anyone who reads any of George R.R. Martin's books knows you don't get attached to any particular character. They're going to die. But let me say that if you did have to leave this life, King's Landing would be not a bad place to go. It's a beautiful location. It is absolutely picturesque. It is wonderful. Beautiful streets, beautiful buildings. And this brings to mind that HBO actually spared no expense in looking for places to shoot this series. They went all around the world, even to the point of taking over whole towns. And they'd take a town that was basically what they wanted and add some props, put some stuff down the streets, a bit of CGI up the back, a building that wasn't there before, but it is now. Okay. And if you go there, you can actually walk the streets and you can see, oh, yeah, they're the streets up to the Sept. This is the street where Cersei did her walk of shame. And that little inlet there is Blackwater Bay. And you think, wow, this is absolutely awesome. It's unreal. So there you go. A famous television series shot in a lot of places around the world, one in particular. So that's all you get.
All right. Well, that's some additional hints, more than last time.
That's right.
So it'll give some people an extra chance.
So the deal is we've got until next week. That will also be revealed next week. So first one in with a correct answer is where I got this T-shirt from, wins 10 kotos. If anybody wants to break in and send an answer in before the end of the broadcast, it's an extra 5.
And we are you can send comments in the chat on the YouTube link. There is a text chat there if you'd like to just jump on that and say something as opposed to joining the Hangout.
Brilliant.
We'd love to have someone join the Hangout sometime.
That would be nice. We always welcome.
One of these days we're going to end up begging, and we're going to lose all our pride. It's going to be a shameful, sad experience that no one wants to see us go to those levels. So please, someone join us one of these weeks soon before we have to demean ourselves to the point of begging.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. All right. Enough of that. We've got a news release.
Yeah. Hey, before you jump in there, just real quick, I'm showing off some of my Relics from Rild swag again here. Shroud of the Avatar merchandise. I got the hat on. If you've never seen the beanie or one of the beanies, this is the Silver Lord British beanie.
Nice.
And then, of course, I showed it last time, but I'm having my Pepsi out of the Lord British Shroud of the Avatar glass there. So, all right.
Beautiful.
Just merchandise plug the Relics from Rild. Place to go to get all your cool stuff.
It absolutely is. Yeah, can thoroughly recommend it. This is awesome. Okay. All right. And update number 294. We got dyeable decorations, R55 live stream updates, and R57 on QA. Brilliant. Okay. And the first thing we're looking at here, we've got dyeable decorations. Very nice. And we've now got technology and user interface support to allow the use of dyes to change the colors of decorations, including banners, beds, couches, sofas, and more. So if you've got a chair or a couch or whatever, a banner, bed lying around the house, you don't particularly like the look of it or the color of it, doesn't matter, just change it. You can change it as often as you like. Brilliant. This will take time, as each asset has to be modified individually. Our plan is to maintain a careful balance between craftable items and store items for this effort. So for now, we're focusing on cloth, but the plan is to eventually expand to leather and maybe wood as well. In Release 57, many banners That's including the heraldry ones, canvas furniture, fine red upholstered furniture, and fine white and gold upholstered furniture will support dyes. Brilliant. Now, we got some lovely pictures here. Above you can see an assortment of these furniture pieces that are dyed. And there you go. There they are coming up on the screen now. Beautiful
colors in some of these. I really like that one. I think that must be sparkly green.
It must be. And I don't know how they do it, but it develops a magnificent pattern. It really, really does. It's beautiful.
Yeah, some really, really nice colorations there. I like how they match the clothing.
Yeah. So there you go. You can have almost any color you like. And yes, if you're sitting on the couch with a similar color dress on, you sort of melt into it.
Camouflage.
Yeah, it's great. So get into it. You can, as of the next release, dye your furniture and banners and all sorts of things. And I'm sure the list is going to keep on expanding. Fantastic. Oh, and by the way, I don't think it's mentioned in the news release, but we just finished a live stream, didn't we? Where Chris was talking about constructing these player-owned dungeons.
Yeah, I got it. Like I said, I've been running around a lot this weekend, but I saw a note before I came downstairs that he was doing, and I'm sure it's already passed, but a demonstration of the dungeons on the live stream. He's going to do some dungeon building.
Yes. Yeah, he was. And I always miss these sorts of things because they're 4 a.m. my time. So it's a bit hard to get up at that hour. Yeah. But I will be tuning into that for sure because that'll be on YouTube later. Mm-hmm. Anybody who's remotely interested in dungeons, that will be brilliant to look at. And I think it's going to generate a lot of interest. And a lot of people are going to have dungeons in their properties.
Sure.
That'll be fantastic. Okay, next item is the Release 55 live stream items. These were all Lord British themed in honour of his birthday, and now they're getting around to building them. And the items either have the Silver Serpent or the full crest on them. And they're themed around things that Lord British likes, like fireworks, space, and magic. Well, Reed Rollo started work on this release. And these first few items are going to go live in Release 57. So by the time Release 57 comes around, we will start to see them. And this is the first one coming up on the screen now. Absolutely brilliant. This is the Lord British telescope. That looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Fantastic. It'll be lovely to have one of those. I'm running into the serious problem that I've got so much in my bank, I don't know where to put it all.
I got plenty of room in my house.
Oh, that's fantastic. Good on you. Okay, the Lord British Round Table.
You can use a level. Yeah, I'll give you a whole level.
Oh, fantastic. That's brilliant.
3 of them I don't ever go on to.
Magic. That's nice. I've got a Lord Marshal house in Wizard's Rest.
The kind of almost the Shogun looking type, right? Yeah. I know it's that's probably one of my favorite houses in the game for a town lot.
It's very nice, but it's a strange design because it's a lot of open areas, hallways, and things like that. There's really not a lot of individual rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Just makes it a little bit hard to decorate.
Yeah, I'm using the I forget which one it is. I'm using one of the Lord of the Manor houses, but I'm using it on a city lot.
Okay.
I'm using the one that's the castle with the flat rooftop.
Very nice.
The entire roof is basically, flat. So I have a city lot size on the roof for gardening. I have planting beds up there and all that kind of stuff. And then you got 5 levels, I think it is, through the house. And I only use the bottom 2.
Nice.
I mean, the others are decorated up a little bit and stuff, but I never go on them.
You are going to have a lot of room in that house.
And I use the basement quite a bit, but of course I use it as a warehouse for inventory storage and stuff.
Yes.
I have stuff usually.
Yeah. I have all my crafting tables in my basement, but I'm still only using the first level.
Right.
So, yeah, a lot of spare room. So, fair enough. I'll get it all decorated up one day. So, that's the round table. Very nice.
Of course, the downside of that for me is using that size of a house on a city lot. I have no yard.
That is true. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the Lord of the Manor houses are all usable on a city, but they leave you, a little sliver of grass around the house, and that's all you get if you use one of those houses on a city lot. So,
yep.
I gave up the yard for house, which actually I did that in real life also. So I guess that kind of works.
Yes. And that's happening over here too. Yeah. There's a lot of infill, a lot of redevelopments. The big lots that you'd buy 30, 40 years ago, they're being subdivided, put 2 houses on them. And, of course, the yards are smaller, and you get a little sliver of yard around the house, and that's about all.
Yeah, we had our area has some pretty small yard sizes already to begin with, and at some point in this house's history, they took up about half the backyard by expanding the house a little bit more. So it takes me about 20 minutes to mow both the front and back. Push mower.
That's not bad.
No, it's a pretty small yard, big enough for my dogs in the back, but that's also why I have small dogs. So.
Great.
I wasn't going to get a big dog and say, here's your little postage stamp of a yard to run in.
Yes. Fair enough. Okay, and we have pavers. There you go. The Lord British pavers. They look very nice. Yeah, lovely.
They have that nice white marble design.
They do. Yep. And the crest in the middle. So I'm sure we'll see a lot of those in game. People will find places to put them. So there we are. That is what's coming out so far. That's what they've constructed. And we'll be finding those in our bank accounts. Very nice. And continuing the R54 live stream items. Now, they were all tropical and Polynesian themed in honour of the summer months. Now, Damon Waldrip, otherwise known as Enel Nobad, okay. Reed Rollo and Scotty Jones have been busily working on creating them, this release, and they're turning out really well. And this week, they're showing us the Polynesian axe. That looks absolutely beautiful. Mm-hmm. It really, really does. That is a gorgeous looking axe. Anybody who is so minded, I think, would be proud to wield that. And a large tiki statue. Yeah, that looks pretty impressive too, doesn't it?
Yeah, I got something similar to that, but as a mask. In real life. I'll get it. Go ahead, forget the news for a second. I'll grab it.
Yeah, sure.
Right up the top of the steps here, and it's hanging on the wall.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
It's authentic.
That would look lovely sitting in your yard or in a player-owned town. Yeah, just to welcome visitors as they arrive. That's brilliant. And mind you, the little girl standing next to it looks pretty attractive too. So we can all look forward to having one of those on our property, in our town, whatever. That is actually very, very well crafted. That is beautiful. And continuing on, we have a palapa. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I hope that's something like correct. It looks like just a bit of a thatch-covered meeting house, doesn't it? Very, very nice. Park that in your backyard or wherever. Oh, my God.
How's it going?
You look much more handsome, Sister. You really do.
All
right. Yes. Now, where did you get that one from?
This actually came from my grandparents' basement. My grandfather had it hanging on the wall of his bar area down in his basement since before I was born, and I'm pretty sure it came from Hawaii.
Wow.
Like it's, you know, they went there on vacation, you know, who knows how many decades ago.
Yes.
I would say this is probably at least 50 to 60 years old, if not older.
Nice.
And yeah, it hangs in our. It's all wood, by the way. I should probably show the back.
Yeah.
It's all wood, and
You can see it. It's carved out of a single piece. It's beautiful.
Carved out of a single piece, like it was the piece of a tree, like the bark or something that came off.
Yep.
And see, it's all been hand cut, all hand carved out, and then painted on this side.
Wow. Beautiful piece of work. That is lovely.
But that's what the statue kind of reminded me of there. It made me think of that.
Yep. Awesome. Okay, today is the last day for the Release 56 stretch goals. Wow. It's the final day to make an eligible purchase for these stretch goals. Now, that's unless you enroll in the rewards program. It's also the last day for us to achieve any further stretch goals.
We're at 78,255 at the moment.
That is impressive. Look, that's less than $2,000 away from the next marker, which is what an Ether Dragon statue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Look, I'm sure we can make that by the end of the day. Come on, people, we can do it.
I really wanted that Ether Spear. I don't think we're going to make it unless I pony up 10,000. That just ain't happening.
Oh, look, you can do it. Come on,
I might be able to pull up 10 cents if I dig deep.
A few weekends vending, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But last Friday, they got the box of replenishing ether dye. And
I'm happy to see that.
That's great. And the aim is this Friday, the Ether Dragon statue. Yeah, maybe the weapon set. I think, as you say, that's a bit of an ask.
I think it's getting pretty late in the day at this point.
It is, yeah. I reckon hitting the dragon is sort of realistic. Yeah. Hitting the weapon set, that's a bit of a pipe dream. But remember, just a reminder, they've updated the way they track them. So every Friday during the month, they turn on the big sale on everything at the store, and everything that is received on Fridays goes towards the stretch goals. So fantastic. But it gives everybody a chance to get more rewards, which is sort of brilliant. Okay. So they're going to turn on the big sale, start tracking, start again where they left off last week, track the totals till midnight, and repeat. Rinse and repeat every Friday of the release. That gives us an entire release to build up to the stretch goals. And they will mention it during the community live stream, but that's all. It just, they won't talk about it as much. The live stream maintains as it was. So what have we got so far? Just to remind everybody, we've got the statue, which goes in your foyer. Welcome people as they come in the door. We've got a one-handed sword and an ether shield. Double XP every weekend in August. Oh, I'm loving that. That is brilliant. You can really feel the difference when it comes on. I was wandering around last night. I don't know why or how it happened, but they must have turned it on fairly early because here am I down in the crag mines mining away. And you get this little message, this instance is closing in 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you want to go to a new one? I thought, yeah, I think I will. Thank you very much. So, did that.
I get those when those messages pop up for me, I Alt-Control-Delete, shut it, and relaunch it.
Yeah, right. Fair enough.
It just seems like the fastest way to, trying the different methods of the 60-minute message pop-up. I've found that just Alt-Control-Delete, shutting down the program and relaunching it has always.
Really?
Yeah, I've just found that's the fastest way for me to handle that whole thing.
Oh, that's fair enough. But yeah, I was back in the mines, and suddenly everything was worth twice as much as it was before. So yes, this is fantastic. But just a hint to everybody, of course, it goes off at the end of the weekend. So if you're playing around on Sunday night or Monday, wherever it happens to be, wherever you are, you get that message. Basically, it means they're turning it off. So say no. Say no.
I'll take my 60 minutes.
That's right.
59 minutes, 33 seconds. I have 24 seconds left.
Yes, I'm staying here until you kick me out.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So we've got the bow, we've got the ether crossbow. I'm gonna love that, having that bow. That's nice. We got the box of replenishing ether dye, and we're just about to the ether dragon statue, which is a village size. So that's a pretty good size statue.
Yeah, I'll take some space.
Yeah, it will. Okay.
I could put it on my roof, but I'd use my planning, lose a lot of my planning. So not that I ever use it. That's I've never ever once farmed on my roof. Now I have farmed in the game.
Yes.
But it was prior. At one time, I had the Lord of the Manor land lot, and I had greenhouses set up, and I did a lot of farming back then. And then when I decided that I had too much property, and I downsized the city and moved my house over and set up the roof, I have yet to farm on the roof.
Oh.
It's set up and ready to go. Just haven't done it.
Well, there's a lot of work involved in farming, isn't there?
I haven't tried it since they added in the multi-sowing of the seeds. For me, before when I was doing it, you had to do one seed at a time, and now they have the
ouch.
So
yeah, okay. So it's a bit better.
Water's really what kills you, in my opinion.
Yes.
Just sitting there at that water well or fountain or whatever you're using, just water all day long.
Yeah. Haven't they heard of reticulation?
You could go buy it, but it's the weight.
Yes.
Who wants to be carrying 1,000 buckets of water to the 5th story of the roof?
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Wow. You'd have to be dedicated to be a farmer in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Release 57 is up on the QA server. So if you're interested in seeing what's on it and all the new cool stuff, it's up, along with the early version of the post telling you all about it for review and feedback. Very nice. It's full of new content. Most of it is on the QA server for early testing. And, of course, they'd love people to run it and find out where all the bugs are. And what you will find there is a preview of the player-made dungeons. Nice. Dyeable decorations that we've just talked about. A hide helm option. Okay. Very nice. Quality of life improvements. Right. You can, even if you want to, you can skip siege and control points. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy that.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually starting to enjoy sieges because they're great for farming and great for getting experience and wood and creosote and stuff. And if you kill 18 engineers and hand the arcane catalyst into the scout, you get a nice XP bonus.
I don't mind the sieges at all. If that's what I'm wanting to do, if I'm wanting to go out and fight some stuff and so forth, the siege is great. I do find them annoying, when say I just want to jump into, I want to go to Resolute, and hey, I just need to get in there to pull something from my bank, or I need to get to a vendor or whatever, and there's a siege, and it almost feels like a waste of time because not only do I want to avoid it, but it's easy to do so. I'm just gonna be spending 5-10 minutes running through a siege and doing nothing.
That's it.
So it's kind of pointless that have them there as an obstruction. They should be. I think they're right in that they should be purely, hey, I want to do this siege, or I want to bypass it and just get to my stuff.
Yeah, because
I think people are going to continue to do the sieges either way because it's like you said, they're great for certain resources. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, and if you can manage to down a Kabbalist, that's a pretty good feeling. Some of them I can do, some of them are hopeless.
You can work on getting a full set of hoods.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Although they don't drop very often. Half the time you work for ages to down this wretched Kabbalist, and you get a black pearl or two and some gold. And you think, Why did I bother?
Yeah, that's always a disappointment. I think that's something they definitely need to work on in the loot system with the bosses. If you're not going to get if you get the big drop, then
Yep.
maybe you don't get as much gold and some of this other stuff. But if that rare drop doesn't drop, then maybe boost up some of the other thing. The gold pile is a big gold pile or something.
Yes.
Something to make it at least worthwhile, other than hoping each time. Make each combat count, be rewarded.
That's right. I think they should do that. And they have done that with Zavara, the fire pillar.
Okay.
Every time you go and knock her down, you get 200 gold.
See, that's you're getting a reward for it. That's
right.
That's important.
That I think is worthwhile.
Because grinding for a drop is something some people are going to do, and some people are going to enjoy. They're going to enjoy killing that thing 200 times and getting that rare drop. Other people, they're just out there doing their thing today, and it's like, I killed it. That was my time today. I didn't get anything. I don't really want to do that again now.
Yes.
So I think it's important that every especially if it's a tough combat, you get something to compensate that time and that experience. Because if I can go out for 2 hours and kill stuff, and I'm only going to make 2,000 gold, then why do I want to go out and kill stuff for gold?
That's right.
There's better ways to do it.
Yeah, there are. Absolutely. I mean, I can go down to the Crags foothills and I can pretty much raise the same amount of XP and quite a bit of useful stuff without raising a sweat.
Right.
So, yeah, as you say, why would I go and put my life in danger and consume dozens of potions just to stay alive for the sake of the same thing?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, look, there's something different. But as you say, the quality of life improvement, yeah. If you don't want to go through it, it is a time waster. It's 2 loadings because you've got to load to get in, load to get out the other end, run through it. It is several minutes. And why do it if you don't want to? Fair enough. The user interface polish. Oh, nice. Health and focus bars. There's a vendor button. That'll be interesting to see what that's all about. Full water lots. Okay. Don't know what they are.
Not sure what that means, but yeah.
No. Alrighty. There's tons of bug fixes. Oh, that's a good news. Great. There's combat balance. Okay. Some people are going to love that. Some people are going to hate it. Oh, great. I hope they don't take the nerf bat to too much. And as we've mentioned earlier on, there's the live stream items that we talked about from R54 and R55 and a whole lot more. And if you test on QA, you get rewards.
They have some pretty cool ones. And, you don't see those come up for sale very often either, whether, you're talking on vendors for gold or websites or forums, what have you, for currency, real money, kodos, anything. Most of the people that earn those just tend to keep them. Every once in a while you'll see one, but occasionally, but for the most part, now forget it. I have the antenna hat that someone gave me, and I don't ever sell a gift. If anyone ever gives me something as a gift, I'll keep it forever. So like I actually, I'm selling the antenna right now. That's for a client on commission, but I have someone gave me that's in my house. That's it's pretty cool. That little item, throw it on, you get some little antennas.
Nice. That's lovely. Good. Yeah, and look, I imagine these things would be pretty valuable, like sentimental value, or they'd mean a lot because you've earned them.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of work in the QA, finding bugs, and you would naturally want to keep hold of it.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, every once in a while, you'll see one pop up here and there for sale, but really, they're items that, I had a set of the paintings one time that passed through my hands for a short period. But realistically, they're items you got to go earn if you want them, and then people tend to want to keep them for that reason. And the insect paintings, especially, I think are really. I haven't seen the ant farm in person in game yet.
Okay.
I know some people that have one, but I haven't even seen an ant farm myself.
Right.
I could make arrangements.
Yes.
Even with all the thousands of items that pass through my hands, I've yet to ever held an ant farm.
Wow. They're probably pretty rare.
Yep.
Okay, next item is the rewards program that we talk about periodically. Just to remind people, it's a great idea. if you believe in the game, if you want to contribute to it, even in a small way, as you know, when they have the live streams, if you contribute $5 of new money, you get all of these cool rewards. Whatever stretch totals they get up to, you get all of them, all for the princely sum of $5. And if you're not around for the live stream, or if you forget about it, or if you're out of town, if you're on vacation, basically you're screwed. You don't get them. Well, this is the way around it. You can sign up to the rewards program and regularly contribute $9 a month, which is a pretty minimal amount, really. That's a few cups of coffee. And once you signed up for that, you are automatically enrolled in the program. So that's fantastic. So whenever it happens, whether you're out of town or not, whatever stretch goals they reach, you just get them automatically. So for $9 a month, you get 9 gold crowns of the obsidians every month. And that's actually face value by itself. So without any other rewards, that's what it would cost you to get them. You get automatic participation in the live stream stretch goals. You get an exclusive title every 3 months. And every 6 months, you can pick any die pack. That's nice. And every month, you can get 3 obsidian potions. And let me tell you, I don't move out the front door without obsidian potions. They are fantastic. They really make a difference. So there you are. Consider that. All right, the double XP weekends are coming to an end, sadly. This would be the last weekend of the month. Oh, heaven help us. Okay, we have to go back to single XP, unless they do it again next month.
Yeah.
I wonder if they will. Okay, but look, the goal was double XP for the weekend in August. They reached it.
I don't know if we'll get it Friday next week or not, because Friday's on the 31st, and then September 1st is Saturday, so it's in the middle of the,
It is.
They might let it run all weekend next weekend. They might let it just run Friday. They might not run it at all. I don't know.
Yeah. Somebody might accidentally flick the switch as they walk out of the office. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Would be lovely. Okay. But because we did that, because we raised enough, we got double XP every weekend. So remember, if you're out and about adventuring or crafting this weekend, double XP is in force. Brilliant. Okay. There is a weekend flash sale on weapons and armor this weekend. That's nice. Okay. So as they say, after many releases of adding gear in the game as loot and quest rewards, in release 56, they've added the ornate Shogun bow and heavy plate armor to the store as purchasable items.
Nice.
Oh, just as a bit of a segue, I've noticed once or twice as I've picked up loot, I've gotten things that were crafted by players.
Yeah. More of those are starting to show up now.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that, items that go into the public vendors that don't sell in the public vendors will show up in the loot tables.
Very good. Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of that's coming from, is items that didn't sell on public vendors. Because I had a friend that was asking me about that constantly. He's like, I don't understand how, these items are going to show up in the loot table. No one's going to go to the blacksmith and sell them this +7 crafted longsword that you've been working on for, all day for 50 gold. And I'm like, I don't know, but it's showing up. And we figured it out. That's what's happening is items that people are putting on the public vendor. And the public vendor, if it doesn't sell, I think it's 7 days or 10. I'm not sure the time period because I don't use them myself.
Sure.
But once, if it doesn't sell, you don't get the item back, is my understanding on the public vendors. It's gone.
That is my understanding as well. I could be wrong on that. But my belief is that if it doesn't sell in the specified time, it's considered sold to the public vendor.
Right.
For whatever the nominal price is.
And then it goes into the loot table.
It'll go into the loot
and
table.
That's where that stuff's coming, and it's stuff that people didn't buy.
Yeah. I actually did sell about half a dozen or so bows to an NPC vendor, because I'm just starting out in enchanting, whatever. And okay, these, yeah, they've got a couple of enchants on them. They've got a couple of masterworks on them. They're okay. They're not great. They're not what I would actually use. And the durability is down to about 50 or 40. I'll get 150 each for them from the vendor. And
well, it makes a difference too that you know that when you do that, someone might find it later.
yeah, that's right.
It makes it a little less painful.
Yes, yes. And I also had a bunch of bows that you'd say they weren't bad, but they weren't really great. So I put them on my own vendor for 1,000 each, and somebody came and snaffled them all up. So maybe he's going to resell them at a huge profit. I don't know. But
doesn't matter. That's the way it works. You got what you wanted out of them.
Exactly. That's right. They weren't any good to me.
I'll occasionally pick up, like you do a lot of enchanting. If you would drop, I don't do it very often. It depends on how busy I am. Right now I'm real busy, so I wouldn't even consider it. Like if I'm pretty caught up on stuff and I'm shopping and running around and I have a lot of gold, a lot of times I might pick up, like say if you drop a bunch of bows on a vendor where you've enchanted them, but you haven't masterworked them and they're good bows. I'll pick them up, buy them from you, take them back home, use that to work on my masterworking, and then I'll do that now and then just to kind of finish them up on whichever side they need, whether it's the enchantment or the masterworking, to raise my skills rather than kind of create the wheel from scratch. I'll pick up where someone else left off at.
It's a good idea. Yeah.
Like I said, depends. I haven't done that in, I don't know, about a month or two, but because I've been pretty busy. But when I get a little bit more caught up on other things, I occasionally do that.
Yeah.
The public vendors are great for that too.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you can find a lot of good deals in the public vendors where someone's, done the masterworks, but not the enchants or what have you.
Right. Yeah. Well, I've been frantically making bows because I'm going through a lot as I get the enchanting up, and I've got about a dozen or so now that are really plum quality, just waiting for when I get everything GM'd.
I thought about you. I have I've learned both the dark sylvan and the light sylvan bowstring recipes. And I wanted to make and send you one of the unicorn bowstrings, but I haven't gotten my hand on any of the light unicorn hairs yet. I got my hands on some of the darks, and I made a dark bowstring, but I'm like, he's going to want a light bowstring. I know he's not going to use the dark. So I'm still trying to get a couple of unicorn hairs for you, and I was going to shoot you a bowstring.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I haven't done it yet. But,
hey.
I'll keep working on it.
Do you know what sort of properties they have?
I didn't look that closely. Well, and it scales with your virtues. So if you're playing light and you're using light bowstring, the bonuses are going to go up based on how high your virtue level is.
Right. So if you're playing a virtuous character, you should use the light bowstring.
Use the light, and if you're playing an unvirtuous, then you want to use the dark. Which almost, like I was saying that one time, you could almost flip that if you wanted to, and say, well, why is this good guy using unicorn parts?
Yes, that's right.
It's kind of encouraging. Is this you as a nice guy are encouraging me to go kill white unicorns to get you a unicorn hair?
Yes,
this sort of thing. So it's just and I think Richard's probably loving that because he loves those sort of moral quandaries that you get into that you don't have the right answer. It's a blurred line, and I think that's kind of what's going on with those.
Yeah, he loves giving people perplexing questions and making them think. And is it okay to pay some hush money to somebody if my lawyer did it and I didn't?
Right. And what's great is if you ask him, hey, Richard, what was the right answer? They'll say, I don't know. That's the point. It's a quandary. It's a dilemma. You got to make your decision and go with it. There's not a right or a wrong answer.
Exactly.
That's the whole point. It's to push your experiences and make you think in directions you may not normally have to think in by being exposed to those situations.
That is right. Yes. Yeah. And it makes life really interesting. Okay, but on the store this weekend, pretty much every piece of armor that you can think of is on sale, 20% off. So if you
I'm
want to
grabbing
pick
the
up,
bow, you continue on for a second.
yeah, really cool armor. I mean, look, there's just a heavy set. There's Shogun armor. There's Obsidian Order armor, mage, Elven mage armor, daggers, hilts. Oh, vile halberts. Yeah, nice. Lovely. Chainsaws, satyr armor, shields of every kind, doublets, leather armor, kimonos. Yeah, every kind of shogun armor you can imagine. Kilts, riding outfits, tapestry outfits, a wedding dress and tuxedo. Anytime you want to get married in game, there it is. Hats of all description, leather armors, guard armors, or if you want to be an assassin, you can have an assassin's armor. And a lot of these are pattern packs, so you can have your own armor with all its nice stats and enchantments and masterworks and stuff, and then just put a pattern on it and make it look like anything you like. So it's great. I've done that. I'm running around looking like an elven archer, but actually I've got a mix of bone armor and hardened leather.
That's also what I've done.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
there you
talking
go.
about making bows.
Yes.
You can make bows out of PVC. And these are a couple of PVC bows made here. And this actually has a Shroud of the Avatar background for me. In that I was looking for someone to make bows for me out of PVC so that I can sell them, because it's not something I have the time to make. And I found someone in the Shroud of the Avatar community that said, "Oh, I would be interested in doing that." And they've become a good friend, and they're a business partner. They make bows for me. They make crystal daggers out of acrylic. They make what else? Oh, we're doing shields, all kinds of things. But one of the things they make for me is PVC bows, and this is as simple as you can make them. This is what we call the apocalypse bow, and the theory being that it's the apocalypse. And, zombies are coming, and you're like, oh, shit, what do I do? So you run out in your garage, and you grab a piece of PVC, and you make a bow. And but I thought you might like this one. And this is a prototype experiment. He made the bow for me, but it got a little scratched up in traveling from convention to convention, so I needed to put a new finish on it. And so I made it look like rock.
Wow, nice.
And you can see it there. And what I did is I used Valspar makes a rock spray paint that comes in different patterns that you can spray on. So basically this was just a spray paint job.
Yeah.
But talking about making your own bows, this is basically two people involved. My maker, who I met from Shroud, and then I'm giving it this paint coat. I did another one using black Plastidip recently, which is a rubber coating. So.
Very nice.
Topic with you a little bit there, making your own bows.
That's terrific.
You can do it in real life too.
Awesome. And is that your bowstring?
This is a bowstring. Some of them are black. This one's an orange one. Let's see, slide it out here. It's the wrong way. There we go.
Nice.
There you go. One rock bow. This pulls about 28 pounds to 30 pounds, which is real strong. Intentionally, that's the maximum, or getting near the max, not quite the maximum that you can shoot safely foam-tipped arrows at other people.
Right.
The LARP arrows you can shoot at people. Anything higher than that, it becomes pure target. This is an entry-level bow or a youth bow for target practice also. But you can make them out of PVC stronger than that different ways. One is when you flatten it, that increases the strength. So you'll heat this all up and you'll flatten it all out.
Yep.
And then heat it together. If you wanted, you can stick laminate in before you flatten it, and that will increase the strength. You can take a smaller tube and put it inside bigger tubing, and by doubling up the tubing, that's the way to
yes.
strength.
Yes.
So there's all kinds of different ways that you can, and I have, bows that actually people will argue with me, no, that's a real bow. That's not made out of PVC, because they've all been flattened and then painted with browns and wood stains and stuff like that, where they even look like they have grain because, you know, you intentionally streak it a little bit as you do it. And people will think they're real wood, and they'll sit there and argue, that's not PVC. You know, man, it's PVC. I'm telling you. I make them, I carry them, I work with the guy that makes them. I guarantee you I'm not selling you a wooden bow at that price. But yeah, so you can do a lot with that. And if anyone out there is ever interested, just go to YouTube and pull up PVC bow making. It's not as easy as they make it look. It's not as easy as it sounds, but it's also not extremely difficult either.
Fantastic.
But I'm playing around right now with doing some different finishes. So when I have something that gets scratched up or whatever, I have different ways that I can actually improve it with the new finish. So
looks lovely.
But this is the one I sprayed this today. So I mean, it's a pretty new.
It's a nice finish too.
Yeah, I like it. I didn't get as much of the paint as I should have had for it because I was using some stuff up I had laying around and I ran out. But
okay, not a worry.
It's going to the convention with me tomorrow.
Beautiful. Okay, upcoming events. Well, release 57 is on August 30, end of the month. Dragon Con is also on August 30 to September 3. On September 3, there's the Release 57 dance party. And on September 7 is the live stream. September 27 is Release 58. October 5 is the Release 58 live stream. October 11 to 13 is SotaCon in Austin in 2018. So if you're very fortunate, you might be able to get to that. October 25 is Release 59. November 2 is the Release 59 live stream. November 15, Release 60. November 30 or December 7 is the Release 60 live stream. December 13, Release 61. And either on December 21 or January 4, the Release 61 live stream. So, apart from all of that, there's the community calendar. In the forum, you can see all of the lineup of activities that the community has, and there is a release events thread in the forum. So there's always something amazing happening in this community. Don't miss out. Brilliant. All right, there's a community event happening. This is Sean's Sell and or Buy All the Things Challenge. Okay, we started this last week. We'll just give you another reminder for this week. Thanks to the new receipt files in Release 55, some terrific work by Titania Zaria on the new vendor tool. Yeah, we've got a great way to track our sales and find good prices for all the things. So to celebrate, he's running a merchant challenge during Release 56. So what is it and what do you do? Well, do you think you're the best merchant in all of New Britannia? Oh, the answer is no. Do you think you can move more iron ore than anyone else? Yes, I know. Yeah, you are. Yes.
I make a living at it.
I mean, come on, you'd have to be, wouldn't you, Style?
Sometimes anyway, not always, but
yeah. Yeah. You bet you can.
There's actually a lot of very, very good merchants in the game.
Yeah.
A lot of honest people that do a really good job, offer fair prices. And, merchants sometimes really do get a bad rep, but, a good, honest merchant is as much a part of the community as anyone, in my opinion.
That is true. And really, it helps to sustain the community because not everybody has the time or the inclination or the ability to go out and do what the merchants are doing.
Yeah. It is a very, very time-intensive project. And you have to say to yourself, would I rather be spending my time doing this, or should I find a merchant to take care of those things for me, and then I'll spend my time getting more things to give to that merchant?
Yes, that's right. I spent a couple of hours down the mines last night. I came away with a couple of 100 gold ore. I think, yeah, that represents 50 ingots.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through those real quick. It's a lot easier to go and buy them from somebody.
Yeah, I purchased 4,000 gold ore recently, and I'm down to, I think I want to say about 40 or 70 ingots left.
Yes.
From 4,000 ore. And that was just, I think that was just about 8-9 days ago. So
yeah, great.
Doesn't take long.
It does not take long. I know. But Okay, here's your chance to win some prizes. So if you've got a spot, great. And governors, well, you can help your residents get more traffic and you could win big too. So for the player-owned town with the top total sales rank, that's the governor's prize. First place is 100 gold kotos. Second place is 50. And we did wonder about this last week. They're saying 10th place. I think it should be third, but who knows? You get 10 gold kotos. The player with the top sales rank in any player-owned town, again, it's 100 gold or 50 or 10. And the player with the top sales rank in any PC or player-run town, again, 100, 50, and 10 gold kotos. And they're going to make a random avatar more richer. One lucky merchant is going to receive 333,333 gold.
Nothing to laugh at.
Absolutely.
You're laughing at the numbers, but that's
yeah, that's right.
gold for anybody.
Oh, I would take that if you gave it to me.
Yep.
That'd be brilliant. Okay, so it runs from July 27 until August 31st. So you don't have a lot of time left, but if you've been in it, good luck to you, and I hope you win. There's no cheating. Your data and player game must be in the public records. You can only win one prize. If there's a tie, well, the prize will be split. And obviously, Titania Xylia and himself, that Sean guy, are disqualified. They will have a running leaderboard set up, and the link will be here. Okay, so there you go. How many up to the challenge? You've got more than a month. Well, you haven't now. You've only got a few days, but it's been going for a while. And good luck, everybody. Fantastic. And there is a link there to the scoreboard. So if anyone's interested, there is a link and you can see how people are going. All right, and it should be coming up any minute. There we go. Well, there's a fair few people taking part, I can tell you.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
Like you got what, 82.
Nice. There is some serious turnover happening. That's absolutely brilliant. Great.
Looks like Elrond over here's pulled in some nice money.
Wow, he certainly has. I had a look on one of his vendors, and he's turning out some seriously nice bows.
Gotcha.
Yeah, some pretty good stuff he makes. So I think he's got the masterworking and enchantment down to a fine art.
Yeah, I just loaded a bunch of vendors in game with what was the latest bat? I was working on unicorn spears. I was trying to, a couple top museum quality pieces, if you will. And
yes.
I think in that process, I made 30 or 40 Sylvan unicorn spears. Hefty amount of gold just invested into the raw materials on that.
Wow.
I just finally got those finished up. I did the enchanting on them, and I got those distributed on a lot of different of my vendors here and there to see how well they start selling.
Beautiful. Okay. All right. Next, we have a community event. This is the Bear Tavern Brawl on August 25th, which is tomorrow. Okay. It's at the Bear Tavern Arena in the municipality of Barons Reach. It's at 2 p.m. Central Time, runs for 2 to 3 hours. And Duke Vallis says, I'm in the process of getting the Bear Tavern Brawls underway, hopefully as part of a regular series of events. Barons Reach is built, the tavern's up, and the arena below is looking pretty good. Makes sense. Well, to use it. That's fair. And he's trying something new by using a tournament site to take some of the strain out of it. I'll also be playing with Twitch streaming to help with coverage. And, well, as we know, you have fun and games when you start a new venture up like that.
Oh, yeah.
It might work brilliantly. It might fall over once or twice.
You always have technical difficulties. It's just a question of how bad are they.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. 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 You're always in it. The only question is how deep. Okay, but what he needs is people to help with a trial run, currently scheduled for the 18th of August. Well, that's old news. That happened last week.
Oh.
Oh dear. All right, but they've
All
still
right.
got it in the news release. Never mind. Okay, so the take-home message is here. He's running this tournament, and it's going to be in the Bear Tavern Arena on August 25th at 2 p.m. Central. So if you want to take part, join in. Fantastic.
I did one of those once. It was a long time ago.
Yes. Okay.
I partnered up with, you remember Espada?
Yes.
Yeah, Espada was my partner.
How did you do?
Well, let's just say we got the wrong opponents right off the get-go. We were out right away, but I think it was any other opponents there, we would have at least had a pretty good battle. There was one set of opponents the one time we entered that just really outclassed us.
Oh dear.
And, we got them on the first draw. They took us out pretty quick, and yeah,
and that was it.
That was it.
That's embarrassing, but
it happens. I haven't seen him around in a long time.
Yeah, I think that would happen to me as well.
Oh, now I wouldn't even want to try it now. I don't have the in-game skills, much less the out-of-game skills,
Right.
Because, it's something you really got to get in there, you got to do, and you got to practice. Back when I did that, we met up several times a week and practice against other people in some of the open PvP areas. We practiced with each other, worked on our strategies and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's definitely something you just can't jump in and do.
Oh, that's right. It's a particular style of fighting, and there's a lot of tricks that you need to know.
There's always tricks in PvP, and the way you learn them is you either find someone to teach them to you, or you PvP a lot until you learn them the hard way.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yep. Okay, next item. From Merits, you can win a Topiary Town Dragon statue. That looks pretty impressive. That's lovely. And as we've mentioned a number of times, Merits is a great app. Just by walking around, you get Merits points, and you can use them to get potions, whatever. And these obsidian potions, as I said, are fantastic. And they do run sweepstakes. And this month, they are giving away this Topiary Town Dragon statue. It's valued at $134.
And no mention of Relics by Rild there. They usually have a contest going. Let me see if they have one.
Yes, they say you can also enter a Relics by Rild $50 gift card.
I just missed it already.
Yep. A Sotacon t-shirt, Sotacon tickets, nice. And use them every day for potions and things. So that's good. And again, with Merits, you can win a pair of Sotacon 2018 tickets. You can enter every day to this sweepstake. You got a chance to win. They draw a winner once a week for a custom t-shirt through June, July, and August. All entries will count towards the grand prize, which will be drawn in September, for a pair of Sotacon tickets and a custom t-shirt.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
This live again. I'm gonna. I don't know if it shows up here. Oh, you can see the Relics by Rild Crow is kind of showing up there.
Yes.
Kind of like that cell phone on a camera, I don't think, but I'm going to click the buy ticket, confirm, and success. I've just entered Relics by Rild for 2,500 points on Merits.
Brilliant.
So it show up very well, but yeah, I don't think the camera likes to pick up that LCD backlit screen there.
No.
That's all there is to it. I did it that quick.
That's it. That's it. That's all you have to do. If you've got Merits on your phone, just clickety, click, click, click. It's free. And that's perfect. Excellent. Okay. Now, a project to support. Tortoise and Hare Creations, Patreon.
Indi Martin.
Oh, she's done some lovely work. She really has. Indi Martin of Tortoise and Hare Creations work includes the New Beginnings, officially licensed Shroud of the Avatar comic book, a recently commissioned portrait of our very own Chris Spears by Sir Frank, and The Art of Indi Martin, an adult colouring book.
I actually carry her coloring book. I think I'm the only person outside of herself, I could be wrong, that carries that around to conventions. Obviously, with me not being the artist, it's going to be a much, much slower mover for me than it would be for her, because, she's there. Oh yeah, I did this. Here's my art. You can buy art.
Yes.
Whereas me, it's, this is someone I know. They do a great piece of art, so I don't sell a lot of them, but every once in a while I move one. I still have, 15 in stock, and I think I originally started out with about 22. So, every once in a while I'll get someone comes by the convention that will pick one up and really likes it. So
very good, very good, and it's beautiful work.
Oh, it is.
Yep. And you can commission her to do a painting or a character portrait for you. A number of players have done that.
Yeah, she's a freelance artist, so really whatever you want, if you're willing to pay for it.
Yep.
I have a project I'm working with her that I'll spotlight in the future. It's still in the we're not telling anyone stages yet.
Great.
Because it may not happen.
Yes.
And, you'd be amazed that, people always say, well, I have this project. And the reason people don't talk about them, especially when you start doing that kind of stuff a lot, is you don't know when they're going to work out. And you don't want to, oh, yeah. And then everyone's, well, what happened with that project? It didn't happen. Logistically, it didn't work out.
You're always better to tell people about something when it's up and running and when it actually works. Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so if you like the work, you want to support it, while at the same time get sneak peeks of upcoming works, then you can support the Patreon project for Tortoise and Hare Creations. Nice. And
she did. I am a supporter, and I'm not going to say what, because, you got to be a patron to find out. But she did post some information today on her Patreon, a little early sort of, hey, here's something that's going to be going on. That's pretty cool. So I recommend going out there and supporting her, even if it's just a dollar level.
Great. Fantastic. Exciting. Okay. Resources, players helping players. Well, we've got, as always, the new player welcome forum and the player created resources forum. They have the best stuff for players for Shroud of the Avatar. They've got a written guide. They have a video walkthrough and a wiki type website. Pretty much everything you need to know you can find there.
Yeah, it's, a lot of people miss how many great resources are in that forum. They'll go in, they'll look at the first, 8-10 sticky posts on the top first page, and then go, scroll down a little bit, see a lot of junk, and leave. And it's like, no, go a page in, go 2 pages in. There are spreadsheets that will show you where to find all the recipes in game, what vendors they're on. There are spreadsheets that will show you what things take to make. Fiona Wynn's cookbook is fantastic. You can go in there and say you have a backpack full of foods you cooked at a vendor or at home, and you want to put them on a vendor, and you're like, well, what was my cost? Instead of sitting there in your head and add it up, you can pull up her spreadsheet and you just go to, sauteed bass. Your cost is this much per bass, and now you know what to price it at. So there's a lot of great community resources in there that aren't obvious necessarily on that front page.
Fantastic. Oh, that is really good. So thoroughly recommend that. Get into that, have a look at it. And there's also the community resources page for a complete listing of all things community. So there you go.
And if you're looking for some old stuff that you can't find anywhere for some reason, stop by the caverns.net. There's 4 years of archives on there.
And trust me, that's taken a lot of work to set up. That's well done, Style.
Well, it's not something I can really maintain these days with new things coming out. And that's why I say if you're looking for some older stuff, it's a great resource, which, it comes up a lot. You're like, man, what was that thing a year ago? Or what was that thing 2 years ago? And so it's still a great resource for that. Unfortunately, I no longer have the time to keep adding all these new resources people come out with. But a lot of the links in there still work, and every once in a while, because I know they're there because I set it all up, I'll go in and go, ooh. And meanwhile, I'll see people on the forums hollering that they need a resource. And it's like, hey, this one's out here. Someone worked on 2 years ago. It's still legitimate. It's still valid, but no one's posting, going into that forum, bumping it. And so, yeah, it's in there, 4 pages buried.
It's buried. It's lost. Yeah, that's right.
But it's still out there,
Yep. Okay.
And it's still relevant.
Yep. Okay. Well, I think that's about the news of the week.
All right. Well, I suppose I did some show and tells, but I brought an official show and tell down. So I told, last show I wore this shirt here. Yep. And this show, I was grabbing something from Relics from Rild to wear, because I'm like, well, I should wear a different. It's a Shroud of the Avatar show. He's the first official merchandiser. I should throw like on a shirt, a hat, something each show we do. And I ran into a problem. I was trying to see what I have is up behind a big TV in the living room. I put in a little coat rack that hangs on the wall, and I'm trying to pull a shirt out of there to put on for this episode. And it's just like, I can't get any of these shirts out. They're all packed in, and I'm like trying to pull them out, and they're binding on each other. And there's a speaker in front of them. I'm trying to not knock over, and I'm trying to not knock over the TV. All right, first of all, it looks like I got a project. I got to find something better for my shirts. So I ended up with all these shirts trying to find something to wear. And, of course, you'll remember, recap. Recap band is, they did they won the Shroud of the Avatar first contest, was for a community crowdsourced fan video to help advertise the game, and they won that with the Return of Lord British, for those who are familiar with it, wax cylinders and game. But these are some of their different shirts. This is for their second album. This is the Paranoia t-shirt. Actually, this wasn't one of their album shirts. This was a shirt they did for the 2015 Silver Serpent Festival. It's kind of like a concert shirt. It says "Home's Not a Place, Festival of the Silver Serpent," which was, it's an Ultima theme-based, but, Shroud of the Avatar community is also welcome as long as you share the passion, willing to follow the rules sort of thing. Yep. Let's see, what else did I grab? And this, by far, isn't all. I have a lot of them not even opened, still in packages. This is, you can tell this is the water shirt for the water org stuff. Yes. This one's not going to mean anything to anyone out there. Well, a few people out there, but maybe not necessarily Shroud of the Avatar, so we'll just move past it. This was also from the Silver Serpent Festival. So think about going to those community festivals like SodaCon, Legends of the Hearth, when we had the Hobloss, Festival of the Silver Serpent. Those different community events like that, I highly recommend. If you can go to them, go to them. Not only are they a lot of fun, but you come home with swag. I know in my experience, it's not unusual for like half the people or more that are going, for each one of them to have brought something to give out. I usually take something to give out, And so you end up with all kinds of cool things. This says "Keep Calm" and Serpent Venom. Yep. And that was, the 2016 Festival of the Silver Serpent, I think that is. Let's see. Here's another recap shirt. I suppose I should show this one off. Okay, go on. This is another recap shirt, and of course, their first album was Neon Milk.
Got Neon Milk, yes.
They did got Neon Milk on the shirt. Yep. This one here, you're in it. We're in my game room, and I said I used to run a game club for a very long time, and this was one of my game club shirts that we had made. Yep. The Caverns pub games.
Yes. Pub games and more. Lovely.
It's a little naughty. Not quite. But what you have there is you have a drow female, scantily clad, holding roleplay books. Nice. And actually, that was done by a friend of mine that owns a print shop company called Equal Owl Press. and he does green. He didn't do that himself. He did the artwork on it, and then someone else did the shirts. That was made before he owned a print shop. There's a couple more Shroud of the Avatar shirts, different colors and styles. So there's no limit to those. I mean, you can get whatever your favorite design is and all that kind of stuff in from the Relics from Rild is probably going to have it. And then this is another shirt I had done. And this one was actually done for more of the Caverns in relationship to my Shroud of the Avatar work. I went to Gen Con 2012. I had to look at the date there. And then I was pretty heavily in Shroud of the Avatar. That's when we were doing a lot of the, I'm sorry, this is a different date. But we were doing a lot of the referrals and stuff like that. So I wanted a shirt to wear that people would ask me about, and then I would tell them about Shroud of the Avatar and stuff like that. But so I wore this to the conventions. And
nice.
It's the same sort of theme, but done a little bit nicer than that last one.
Lovely.
And then it's got
the Caverns Gaming Community. Nice. 2012.
1989, I think was the date we came up with when I started running. So those were kind of like a preliminary. And then the big one that I really brought down from Relics by Rild is this thing. These are awesome. If you have not, the store photographs do not do them justice. This is one of his stretch canvas prints that you can get in the store, and they come in different sizes. Now, he sent me this one. Actually, this is a prototype. This was one of his early prototypes, and I actually have the Providence written note from Relic by Rild. People don't know I do this. I'm in trouble now because now Relic from Rild knows I do that. He's going to stop including little notes and stuff. But he sent me this to do a review on, and you know, when they were coming out, and I did a big review on the caverns.net sort of thing. But I was placing an order for some other stuff. He sort of slipped this in there, and then I got it. He's like, "Can you do a review on that?" And I'm like, "Absolutely." But my review didn't do it justice. His store photos just do it justice. I love these smaller ones. I mean, you know, okay, going to sound like a female here, but they're so cute. I mean, they're so cute. I could just see, like, I want like one of every one of these that he has, and just a whole wall of them. You know, instead of one gigantic stretch canvas, just give me all these because they're cute.
They are.
But they're really, really well made. I mean, the staples are you know, they're not part way in and bent. You know, the staples are going all the way in. They're going in flush. You know, you've got good overlapping on the canvas. The frame is good wood. You know, I mean, I'm not even seeing knot holes. And, you know, they could use scrap wood, but it looks like they're not even using scrap wood. They're using a really good quality wood on these. And it's real well stretched. I mean, there's no looseness in that. It's a nice, you know, drum tight, almost stretch canvas. So they're a very high quality product. If you've ever thought about getting any of these from Relics by Rild and said, man, stretch canvas, it's kind of pricey, I don't know. They're cool. They're real well made and they're awesome. So
beautiful stuff. That is absolutely exquisite.
Yeah. So that's my show and tell today. If you haven't seen one of those beyond the photographs, I thought a video would do that a little bit better. And next time I'll show and tell something from Tortoise and Hare, since they were up in the news today, and since she's working on the next comic and all that kind of stuff.
Sweet. Excellent. Okay. All right. Well, I might as well wind us up. The wonderful background music for the podcast section is by Stephen J. Goldman. The song is entitled Dark Planets. Also, thanks to Sir Style Tackle for the technical work on the newscast. Thanks to Amber Rain for broadcasting the newscast on Avatars Radio. Don't forget, Avatars Radio needs your support to keep the magic of this podcast, events, and music going. Visit their page at avatarsradio.info and click on the Patreon link. This is Asclepius and
Style Tackle
signing off until next week with Echoes from the Caverns. Lovely, and we're out.
All right, so those watching that aren't aware, that ends our audio recording broadcast, which will be going on Avatars Radio. We are still live on YouTube and Google here until I close that out. This is kind of what you call the after rabble, where we just hang out for a second and shoot the shit before we leave.
That's right. Yes, exactly. Okay. And we've had no takers so far in the competition. How sad.
Yeah, I was just looking actually to see if there's any messages here in the YouTube thing. We do have someone watching besides myself. I'm not sure who that is.
Oh, that's nice.
But no one said anything in the chat at this point. I did throw up a message in the chat that I am keeping an eye on it and taking comments and questions. So it was out there.
Okay. Well, you never know. It might happen.
Well, yeah, our time's probably not always going to be friendly to everyone either.
That's true. That's true.
But hey, that's because that's when Portalarian puts out the news. So
that's right. Yep.
So you got a good weekend plan? You going to be playing some Shroud?
I think so. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. To get the enchanting happening, and
yeah, I'm gonna when we close up here, I'm headed up to take care of any actually Shroud of the Avatar customers. I know I got a couple that purchased some goods from me, so I need to log in game. I hate making people wait even 10 minutes, so I want to get that stuff sent to them. And then, yeah, I'm probably off to unwind. I got to get up early in the morning so that we can get back out, set up the rest of the. We didn't get completely set up tonight, so we got to finish setting up in the morning and then run for the day.
Right.
Got all the big stuff unloaded. Got the pop-up pavilions up. Yep. You know, the canopy disguises on them so that it's not obvious that they're modern day pop-ups. Tables are set up and so forth, but lots of little hardware we got to add yet. You know.
Sweet. Okay. Oh well, good luck with it. I hope it goes really well.
Yeah, definitely. I don't do so many of them a year. I should complain too much when I'm out a weekend. But boy, they keep me busy because I get back. I got bookkeeping to do on all the sales. I got it's in my own state, so I also have to pay. I got to log all the state tax info for my state on it right away and all that kind of stuff. Now, when it's out of state, usually I'm able to do like a transient vendor sort of thing. Where you'll have one piece of paper, you fill out, I was a transient vendor, I was only in your state for 1 or 2 days, and passing through, here's the paperwork, and you're done. Not every state has that, and actually that's one of the things that have kind of kept me on the fence about vending SodaCon, is that Austin, Texas does not have transient vendor. You have to register as if you're an Austin business and you're doing business in Austin if you're going to sell in Austin. And the problem with that, I've had to do that with states before, and here's what happens. You go there once for 1 weekend, and you never stop hearing from that state again. Every year you're going to be getting paperwork, and then you're writing letters and have them notarize that you've discontinued doing business in that state to get them to leave you alone and that sort of thing. And that's what's really bad about not having transient vendor laws, is it puts you on their standard with everybody else. Yes. And you're not the same sort of thing. So then it's like, why are you guys bothering me all the time?
Yes.
But so that's, it's not a deal breaker, but it's one of the things that have kept me kind of from going,
Yeah.
But I might vend to SodaCon one of these days.
Okay. Good on you. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'll shut our broadcast down.
Okay, Doc. Yep.
Looking one more time to see if anyone took a last minute to shoot in a question. With that reminder, no one did, so I'm going to go ahead and end it. Goodbye, everybody.